The illusion of the perfect time. There's no such thing as the perfect moment. But most people spend their entire lives waiting for one. They say, I'll start when I'm ready. I'll begin when things calm down. I'll go for it when the timing feels right. But life doesn't calm down. Timing never feels right. And ready is a word your fear invented to keep you standing still. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The only thing that does is now. You're not stuck because you can't move forward. You're stuck because you keep convincing yourself that tomorrow will be safer. You keep waiting for the fear to fade, for the doubt to disappear, for the path to look clear. But fear doesn't fade, you face it. Doubt doesn't disappear, you act through it. And the path doesn't reveal itself, it builds itself beneath your feet as you walk. The truth is, every dream you've ever had is waiting on the other side of one decision, the decision to start, even when you're scared. Every person you admire, every creator, every leader, every success story, they all stood right where you are now. Uncertain. Unprepared. Afraid. But they began anyway. That's the only difference. They didn't wait for clarity, they created it. They didn't wait for confidence, they earned it through effort. They didn't wait for the perfect time, they made time perfect by acting in it. There's no cosmic sign that tells you it's finally safe to begin. There's only a choice, to move, or to wait. And the longer you wait, the heavier hesitation becomes. Because every time you delay, you train your mind that safety matters more than progress. You build comfort in stillness and fear in motion. But here's the truth you've been avoiding: you are never more ready than you are right now. Not after another book. Not after another plan. Not after another excuse. Now. The world won't wait for your timing. The clock doesn't care about your fear. Your future is being written right this second, and every moment you hesitate, you're handing the pen to fear. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start creating it. Because perfection was never the goal, progress was. The trap of perfection is the most convincing lie your fear will ever tell you. It whispers softly, almost kindly, you're not ready yet. Just fix one more thing. Learn a little more before you begin. And without realizing it, you spend your life rehearsing instead of living. You plan. You polish. You prepare. And you call it progress. But it's not progress, it's paralysis. Because perfection isn't protection. It's procrastination, dressed as productivity. You can't outplan fear. You can't outthink uncertainty. No amount of getting ready will replace the lessons you only learn by moving. Because motion isn't momentum, movement is. You could spend months designing the perfect plan, but one imperfect action will teach you more than 1,000 perfect ideas ever could. You don't grow by waiting, you grow by doing. You don't learn by thinking, you learn by trying. Every step forward, even the wrong one, gives you feedback. Every mistake reveals something planning never could. Because real clarity doesn't come before action. It's created by action. Perfectionists stay stuck in the loop of almost. Almost starting. Almost finishing. Almost ready. But winners start messy and improve in motion. They know that the path doesn't appear until your feet begin to walk it. You can't steer a parked car. You can't adjust a journey you never begin. Most people don't fail because they tried and lost. They fail because they never tried at all. They keep waiting for the fear to go away. But fear doesn't leave when you stand still, it leaves when you move through it. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that fear won't decide for you. That's where confidence begins, not in certainty, but in courage. Confidence doesn't come from knowing you'll win. It comes from knowing you'll keep going even if you don't. Action creates clarity. Clarity builds confidence. Confidence fuels consistency. And consistency creates success. But it all begins with movement. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need a first step. The universe doesn't reward hesitation, it rewards momentum. It doesn't respond to waiting, it responds to energy. Nothing grows in stillness. Nothing changes in comfort. And no one ever became great by staying safe. You keep saying you're waiting for a sign. But this is it. This is your sign. The moment you stop waiting for the perfect time and realize that you are the time. The perfect moment isn't coming. You create it every time you move forward, uncertain but willing. So stop waiting for the stars to align, they already are. Stop waiting for everything to make sense, it only makes sense after you begin. Stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating imperfect progress. Because movement, not mastery, builds miracles. Creating the moment something powerful happens the instant you stop waiting and start doing. At first, it's awkward. You stumble. Your hands shake. Your voice cracks. Nothing looks polished, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Because progress isn't supposed to look perfect. It's supposed to look real. Every time you take action, even messy, uncertain, terrified action, you're teaching your mind that courage doesn't need conditions. That confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you build. Perfection tells you to hide your first steps. But courage tells you to take them anyway. Because courage always looks clumsy in the beginning. And every person you admire once stood exactly where you stand now, in the uncomfortable middle between who they were and who they wanted to be. The truth is, every great story begins with a risk. Every masterpiece starts as a messy first draft. Every expert was once a beginner who failed forward. And every success story started with one choice: I'll start anyway. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need a flawless plan. You just need to move now, while your fear still thinks it can stop you. Because the moment you take action, you prove your fear wrong. You show it that you don't need permission. You show it that progress is louder than perfection. The people who build incredible lives aren't the ones who waited for certainty. They're the ones who move through uncertainty. They didn't wait for the fear to fade, they made fear follow them. They didn't wait for the light, they walked into the dark until the path revealed itself. And that's what you have to do. Move. Even when it's messy. Even when it's terrifying. Even when every part of you screams, not yet. Because waiting feels safe. But safety and satisfaction rarely live in the same place. The longer you wait, the louder regret becomes. And one day, if you're not careful, you'll wish you had started when you had the chance. You'll wish you had believed sooner. Trusted deeper. Moved faster. But that regret, that ache for the life you could have lived, is far more painful than any failure you'll face by trying. So take the chance now. Not when it feels easy. Not when it feels certain. Now, when it matters most. Because there will never be a perfect moment. There will only be this one. Imperfect. Unpredictable. Uncomfortable. And exactly what you need. The universe rewards momentum. It always has. And the moment you begin, you'll feel it, that quiet spark of pride whispering, finally, you're becoming the person you were meant to be. So don't wait for the perfect moment. Create it. With your courage. With your first step. With your willingness to begin before you're ready. Because the perfect moment isn't something you find. It's something you make the very instant you move.